Hello and welcome back to Heroes of the Mist on twitch.tv/RPG Research. We've had a few technical issues getting back on after the break. Apologies for that. Looks like there may have been some internet router issues out in the ether. Maybe it's Comcast. Blame them. I don't know. That between here and the Twitch servers...
Comcast.
Yeah, wasn't connecting, even though everything here was working fine. We were connected with Joe, so our internet was working fine, but somewhere between us and the Twitch servers, our stream wasn't able to make it to them. In the future, as I said, we're going to try to just keep recording, and if you want to catch the full shows, the best way is through our Patreon site, so donate through there, patreon.com/RPG Research. We upload the locally recorded stream, so the Twitch automatically can archive what we stream over Twitch Live, but that is never as clean as the locally recorded because bandwidth comes and goes, server loads come and go, audio cuts in and out. That's just, there's no way around that. So if you want the good quality version of all of these episodes, we've always been simultaneously recording locally, which doesn't have all those glitches. Now, Joe being remote, sometimes his connection comes and goes. But as far as the local audio and video, when it's recorded locally, it stays nice and clean. And that's what we upload to our Patreon supporters as a thank you for the donations to the 501c3 nonprofit RPG Research. RPG Research studies the effects of all role-playing game formats and their potential to help people from various populations achieve their educational, recreational, and therapeutic goals to help have a better quality of life. So please do go over there, check out, there's different donation options. If you don't like Patreon for whatever reason, after what happened back in November, then PayPal, you can do it both monthly or one-time payments. You can go to rpgresearch.com/donate, and you'll see different donation options. Also, if you use Amazon, use smile.amazon.com and select us as your nonprofit of choice. Then a small percentage of all of your purchases will slowly accumulate and be donated to RPG Research each month. And the more people who get doing that, slowly that'll help us out a little bit more each month. Now, it's a very small number. It's like 0.0008 or something, but it does add up. Amazon Smile has given out, I forget what the number was, but I think it was in the billions of dollars between all the money they've distributed as donations and such through this technique where they just take a small percentage and save it up, and it goes to your charity of choice. So consider adding RPG Research to your charity of choice for smile.amazon.com. We got that approved a few months ago. I've been doing it whenever I buy on Amazon.com. Everything I buy gets slowly tallied up for that, and that will slowly help RPG Research over the coming years. So lots of options there. If you donate, you get bonus hero points. And so if you do a one-time donation, like a $5 donation, I think it's what, 50 hero points?
I think we do it in $10 increments.
Right. So $5 is 50 hero points. Or well, the Patreon is in $10.
Yeah, increments. Patreon is in $10.
Yeah, it's $5 for the PayPal ones. So one-time donation is in $5 increments. It's 50 points, bonus hero points for each $5 donation. If you do monthly donation through Patreon, then you get you have to do it in $10 increments. But for a $10 a month donation, you get 1,000 hero points each month as a thank you. And this can help you do amazing things to the player characters of the story. And in fact, one of our players decided to become a Patreon supporter and rack up the points. And Katie spent the points. And so I got the note here. It's pretty close to real time. So 800 points to have a trader/merchant arrive ahead of the invasion. And okay, all right, fine. Spent the points. Great. Thank you for your donation and everything. Not realizing the setup. Brilliant setup, but it was a setup because it's a trader and, has lots of different goods. Because Moisha has been jonesing for some new leather armor since he had to burn it when exposed to the plague saving the little girl. So she's like, so Moisha is the dwarf and came up to the trader that the player, Katie, spent the points to make happen in the game. And said, do you happen to have any leather armor?
Very well.
Got to go with the flow on that one, because touche, that was brilliantly done. And it just so happens the trader does have some leather armor, and Moisha was trying that on successfully. So you too can affect the game. Yes. Well, also all of this in story, it all fits in the story. You have to make it work improvisationally. And so meanwhile, Talk was getting ready to execute his various levels of illusion, and that's where we kind of stopped the cliffhanger for the break. Then we had some technical issues, and we just got back on the air. So it worked out perfectly for Quinn, who just came back from his break, who's a reporter for the Inlander and Tri-Cities Tumbleweird, who is taking photos and interviewing people and such for upcoming article. So Moisha is getting armor and some clothes, etc. And Talk, you're ready to implement your thing.
Yes.
So you cast haze.
Yes.
And
I say, for my next trick to myself.
You just say it out loud, just to the pretend audience. Okay.
And then hum a little melody to myself as I cast haze.
Okay.
The Jeopardy theme.
And
Purple haze.
okay. So in addition to the current rain haze, you've now added this local haze, which will last for a round, and that does not require concentration, right? You just fire it off and you can prepare the next one. All right, so you fire that off, it gets hazy. So Moisha, you're back here at the back of the wagon, which is facing north, and you kind of notice things get a little hazy up there to the north. So you kind of realize he's probably up to his shenanigans. And meanwhile, you're keeping the trader distracted, who's in the back of the wagon handing you stuff. He found a little leather helm, or do you want a big metal helm?
No,
what do you want? There was one with the horns. He tossed that to you,
absolutely.
But he was.
That's what you need.
Yeah. Okay. Do you prefer a leather helm or a metal helm?
I prefer a metal helm.
Okay, like a little cap or big full helm.
Just a cap with
Just a cap.
leather.
The leather straps.
Straps.
Okay,
cover my
that can be
ears.
accommodated. There's small helm in there, light helm.
I also want a second set of clothes
Okay.
so that
Okay.
I can
Because you
wander.
are a hipster.
Yes, because I'm a hipster and I'm fastidious and I want to clean.
Just a question.
Yes.
Generally speaking, what are the temperament of merchants? Do they farm, they go places when it comes to them, they're more metropolitan, or are they just equally bigotry,
It's going to totally depend.
Okay.
Yeah, merchants are people too.
All right.
But why?
So some merchants will be very open-minded, and some will not. I mean, you look at the innkeeper; he was not open-minded, right? And and he's an innkeeper. You'd think he sees all kinds, but right. But so it's going to depend.
Moisha as not being from around here,
Yes,
rather not being.
but he's clearly not from around here either. So by his accent, so it's just going to depend.
Okay.
Some will be more worldly than others.
All right.
Yeah, and if you're in a small town, you're probably less likely to be worldly unless it's a traveling merchant.
Yeah, that's my the traveling merchants that travel. How
they probably are because they've seen a lot of sites. They're
Far more
probably far less.
cosmopolitan.
Right,
Yeah.
they're gonna have a lot less of that bigotry and superstition.
okay.
Possibly, might be they've had a lot of really bad experiences with Iridians or something, and have a special grudge. You don't know what their individual history is till you run into them. But in general, they're going to be more worldly. Okay. All right. Let's see. And we had, while we were waiting so those who weren't able to watch when the stream was down, while we were trying to troubleshoot it in the recorded version, we started talking about various pros and cons of AD&D First Edition versus Fifth Edition. What I have observed, where a lot of the newer games aren't helping kids. So the older game systems I observed helped kids improve their math and their linguistic skills and their reading and writing skills. The newer games, which are written to a lower literary level and a lower math level, I'm not seeing those improvements that I saw. I still see all the social benefits, all the other stuff, but the older games and the more technical games, I saw helping kids with math and reading. The newer, and I call them dumbed down games because they are
Definitely
a lower,
much simpler.
Well, they're a lower intellectual level.
Yes,
they
are more.
They are simplified,
novice friendly.
But I don't think that's necessary. I don't think you have to dumb it down to make it simpler either. I know that seems like a contradiction, but you can do things in layers add complexity over time while still raising the bar up on the literary and mathematical level. I've done that many times. With Rollmaster, for example, I don't throw all the rules at people starting out.
Can we get back to
Yes, all right. Yeah. So anyway, that's what we were talking about. We go into more detail with that, and you can catch that clip on our Patreon upload. So, Moisha, you're getting that. It's going to be 12 gold for the small helm.
Oh, come on.
Okay. You want to argue about that? Will you haggle over it?
12, 8.
How much for the one with the horns?
You're not there, Weevil. I'm sorry. Well, you know, I do have my operating costs and traveling and bringing it here.
So
How about 11 gold and 5 silver?
I didn't haggle over the price of the armor.
Well, no, should you? It's a fair deal. You're lucky I even had some. You don't find every trader who has armor lying around in the back of their wagon.
10 is the max.
All right, we'll do 10. That's fine. That's fair.
You know that.
Which, by the way, that's market.
According to the person, 10 gold pieces is the price.
Right. So gives you room to haggle. All right. So you're doing that. You have cast Haze. Now the next spell you're going to cast is the Mirage.
Yes.
And that's concentration or also...
concentration.
That is concentration. And how long are you going to hold that one for?
Until it seems like people have noticed.
Okay. So you can concentrate and you'll have to step out and see the villagers. You won't be able to do it from behind the building. You'll have to kind of step out a little bit and
I'm
watch.
just, I'm using that as cover and just peeking.
Okay.
Spray doesn't have a horn to blow.
That's the additional feature of the haze.
Okay. It's kind of hiding you a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're doing that, and so the haze lasts around. You add the Mirage, and everybody seems to be getting very heated in their argument up on the gazebo and such. There's about 6 people up there kind of yelling at each other now. You can't quite make it out, but it's quite heated. A few people have turned their little loads around and have started heading west on the road, seeming to leave out of frustration. But at the moment, you don't see anybody looking south quite at the moment.
But Weevil is looking south.
Weevil is up here and can't see anything happening down here because the building's in the way.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Slight little... So here you guys are.
Mm-hmm.
Here he is. Here's these buildings. He's doing everything in this area.
So I'm just completely oblivious.
That's right.
Waiting for him to...
That's right. You're waiting for a sign.
Well, there's some sort of magic shard you can use to talk.
Yes, if only there was a magic shard. Yes, cryptomancer, indeed, to communicate. There are spells at higher levels that do let you send one-way messages and stuff. And there is psionics where you can send telepathic messages and stuff.
I will be rolling for that.
Okay, we'll have to do that. I guess nobody rolled for psionic to see if they had psionics in the group, so we'll have to do that. All right, after the show. So you're doing that. You're waiting for somebody to notice that it's gotten hazy in the middle of a heated argument on a rainy day.
Well, I figured if they're gathered around the central thing, then there would be at least a third of them that would be facing this direction. And
right.
And the reason I'm doing these
but the ones that are facing that way, it is a raised little hillock that has the gazebo in the center.
Oh,
so their vision is, it's not that they can't see, but they're looking up here at the discussion.
Yes, okay. I did
so, and that's okay. The biggest problem is it's a rainy, hazy day. Mm-hmm. Now, it's not rainy where they are, but outside of it, it is. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of a problem that it doesn't stand out. They need something that's going to draw their attention. What you're noticing is nobody's looking. And a few people are starting to leave, heading west, not south. These are the people who'd already packed up.
All right.
Yes.
Point of time management.
Yes.
And Torrance jaunt north and back. Where is he at this point?
He's about here.
Going to or coming from?
Coming back.
Okay.
So he's already done this, coming back.
All right.
Yeah. It's because of the mud it's taking you so long. If it was not muddy, you'd already be there. Yeah. So you guys are waiting for a sign, and nothing's happening. It's been a while. It's been at least half hour, 45 minutes.
Confidence in Tom.
That's right. Okay. Moisha, so you can see it's really hazy. That's all you notice. And now, what about the clothes?
I would like a spare set of clothes. I'll give you.
Would you like fine travel clothes? Fine clothes, travel clothes, performers' clothes, workman's clothes. What are you looking for? Limited in your size, of course.
Style.
I would like a nice shirt and pants.
So something appropriate for a noble court, or just a nice day out?
Just a nice day out.
Oh, let me see. He starts going through some trunks and crates and rifling through that. Okay, any ideas, Talk, what you're going to do?
Yes, I have prepared.
So you're noticing nobody's looking.
I have prepared for this.
Okay.
I was planning on using this particular illusion towards the end of this whole feature, but after his illusion.
Right.
I'm just going to have to use it now.
Okay.
I'm going to cast the cantrip Rainbow.
Okay.
And I can create a plane of pastel colors which exactly duplicates a rainbow. 30-foot long, 1-foot wide band of color to arch into a bowed shape, remain a ribbon, twist and turn, etc. In any event, one end of the rainbow must be within 1 inch, so that'd be 10 yards.
10 yards, yep.
10 yards of the caster when the cantrip is cast.
Okay.
The colors will glow softly.
So you're the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
Yes. even in normal darkness.
Oh, really? It'll glow in the dark.
Yes.
Wow.
Visible even in in total normal darkness. So magical darkness, probably not.
Okay.
And if motion desired, the caster must control it by hand gesture and remain within the 10 yards of it. Or at least of the...
Okay, and you say it's concentration?
No, it is not concentration.
It's not... what's the duration?
1 round.
1 round.
It is just 1 round. But it's a very... And you're going to make it unusual or just bowed?
Yeah, I can even leave it there and walk away.
Okay, but how long does it stay?
1 round.
Okay, it's just 1 round. Okay.
And then fade away.
So are you going to make it just a normal rainbow, or are you going to do something funky with it? Okay.
That's just me explaining what I'm doing. Now we get into the magic.
Yes.
All right. I am going to now make the rainbow go from me and very thinly in front of me, of course, and through the haze, and then it gets wider, and it will shoot out and twist and wave through the crowd.
So it's all Skittles rainbow shit.
Yes. And see, this all ties together because Odin has the rainbow bridge.
Oh, that's true.
So this
that's
sets
true.
Up for him as well.
Jotunheim, yeah.
And I will have seen this.
Yes.
That you will see. When it happens, you will see that one. So let's wait for it. Okay. He's describing what he was planning to do.
And then once it seems to have gathered up
a little attention.
The attention.
Like, look at me!
And before it disappears completely, I will have it suck back into and form a band across the road where my
troops will march through, like breaking through the ribbon of a marathon.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. The Mordredian soldiers are presaged by a rainbow.
and hopefully the haze is still there. I'm not sure how long. That was 1 round as well, so...
Yeah, it'll be gone by the time. But that's okay. That's entertaining. All right. So... You switch to that. You send your rainbow from yourself, firing down the road. What's the range on it? How much area of effect?
30, I think.
It says
30-foot long, 1 foot wide.
Okay, so it's 30 foot long.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not going to quite make it unless you want to creep up to the corner of this building. Then you could just do it.
Yeah, I'll creep up a little bit.
Okay.
You know, staying.
But like against the corner of the building, so you're kind of out of sight.
Yeah.
And then fire the rainbow into the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But make it very, very. I can control the shape and size.
Yeah. So
make it very, very thin.
Okay.
Until it gets out into the middle of the.
All right.
Okay. Of the
all right,
road.
so you fire a rainbow to the crowd, it weaves through. You guys suddenly see a rainbow go shooting through the crowd, weaving through the crowd. People start freaking out, looking around, putting their hands up in the air like it's going to touch them, like it's a disease. Children are going, oh, look! Very excited. People are looking all around. The gazebo argument goes silent. They stare down at what's going on around them. They're in shock. You see the priest grab his holy symbol around his neck, and then
some sort of weird amalgam of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, a human pirate, and a gnome patriarch.
Oh, I wish we had a real time. I wish we had a real time artist right now. What's that, Joe?
There's no way Bill. There's no way Weevil has seen the Stay Puft Marshmallow.
That's true. That's true. But it is puffy.
This is a multiverse setting.
That's true.
He could have totally wandered into some village where there was a movie theater.
But his interpretation of Odin, which looks nothing like what folks around here think Odin looks like, stands up above
near
the trees.
where the inn is.
Well, what's your range?
So it's the range is like 80 or something like that, or 80 yards.
80 yards or 800 yards?
I'm pretty sure. Let me look it up. Hang on just a moment. I think it's 90 yards.
So
90. So here we go.
Virgin between offensive and force spell.
All right, so it is 90 yards. So 90 yards from where we are. So by basically,
so
having
270 feet. So about
having
there.
it begin over near where the inn is.
Okay.
And like I said, this again, the amalgam, Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, human pirate, and gnome patriarch. It's like going, doing this follow me.
And it just starts pointing northwest.
So pointing northwest.
And again, so like the RVs.
And he's like kind of, Times Square marquee.
Oh, okay. So your rainbow snaps back.
I am so glad Top can't see this.
Well, except it's towering up in the sky. But you're right, you're against the building, so you can't see it.
And against a building.
You're right, you don't see it. So you snap your rainbow back.
I'm just picturing the perfect image of Odin.
Yes. Right, in your head, that's what's going on, yeah.
So
the rainbow snaps back. People are now staring south.
And
It's going to take him a second for his to manifest.
Yes. And I fade out the rainbow and replace it with the 2D illusion of the troops.
Now, do you move them a lot closer or still keep them back here a ways?
I still keep it where I was playing.
All right. So it's kind of at the edge of your range there, but now you have them start.
And I can also scoot along the wall further back into.
Okay. So you start kind of scooting back now. Okay. So you make it manifest, and the people are looking south, right down the road, when all of a sudden appearing is this wall of marching soldiers, as you remember. But yeah, from a distance, you're making them small and getting larger, even though it's staying in the same location. Mm-hmm. The image is getting larger, but it looks like a wall of soldiers marching down the road, which you got to see yourself, so you're able to accurately represent that. And so that's starting. You then hear people starting to scream and point and look south. But then you also hear people start shouting and pointing up at the sky to the east, and pointing up and tapping other people in there, and other people pointing. So now they're looking south and east.
Excellent. He's got the perfect image of Odin up there to tie in with my rainbow and my.
So, Torin, you were about here when you saw the rainbow go shooting through the audience. And you, from your vantage, could see him right at the edge of the building, and the rainbow come from him.
I knew it!
And shoot out just like you suspected all along.
They're magic images.
And then he snapped the rainbow back to himself and went back into him. And then he kind of ran back this way, and you kind of had to scoot up to see what he's doing. And then you saw everybody start freaking. And then in the sky up here, all of a sudden this strange, rounded, pasty, large-nosed, eye-patched person, just like a cross between a gnome and the chibi dog, starts gesturing northwest
with a touch of Anthony Hopkins.
And up in the sky, and now the people it's turmoil. Everybody's starting to freak out. What do you do? Because you're not in on this particular plan.
And you are particularly
I roll
cowardly.
a 6 for hide.
Okay, so you're good at hiding. You were right about here. Where do you go?
Closest thing, go hide behind.
Just hide behind that building.
Yes.
Okay, great. So you're hiding behind this tool shed.
Yeah.
Large tool shed. Okay. And people just start milling about and panicking and saying, "Look south! No, look this way! Look south! No, look this way!" Everybody just starts pulling on each other, and it's chaos. The people in the casino are like, "Quiet! Calm down! Calm down! Calm down! Quick! We need to bring order!" But it's a panic. Everybody is freaking out. People are tripping over each other. Kids are getting knocked into the mud and stepped on. And little old ladies are getting pushed over.
Roll casualties.
And it is absolute chaos. What's that?
Roll casualties, 13.
Don't encourage.
So you can make out that all this chaos, because between the combination of the soldiers from the south and Odin in the east and this rainbow just before, they're freaking out.
Well,
and even the leadership can't seem to
If they
agree
had
with
noticed it the first place, I wouldn't have made it quite so
That's right. That's right. So, Farhad, you see this chaos and little old ladies and children being trampled in the mud.
Roll for initiative.
There's a giant owl in there. Shoot at it.
Throw out some mercy shots.
So are you just standing there agog?
It's all gone
No.
exactly as planned.
My hand.
I'm sorry,
Concentration.
what was that, Joe?
I'm going to hit Weevil in the head with my hand to break his concentration.
Wow.
And that's the
Okay,
end
he
of
smacks
Stay
and
Puft Marshmallow
Odin
Man.
suddenly disappears from the sky. Nomadin.
No meaning. No
Maybe
meaning.
noted.
And so now everybody, after a few moments disorientation. Go ahead, Joe.
Weevil, I trusted you.
And I've done
You are
a
our
fine
leader,
job.
our bravest and wisest among us, and yet you made that monstrosity. You, the one we trusted to protect us in this moment of danger, and that is what you did. I hope you are proud of yourself.
I have a full wisdom of 10.
I have a question. We couldn't see Odin. From
Yeah,
the
you guys
tree.
can't actually see Odin.
So we
You
don't
saw the
act-
rainbow.
We don't know.
You
what
can't actually see what Odin looks like. You can see the results.
Oh, all I can see is the chaos?
Yeah, because you're behind, so you can't actually see the illusion from behind.
Yeah.
It's completely invisible to you.
Weevil, that's enough. Mission accomplished. You've done a great job.
Okay.
A fine, marvelous job.
Okay, and so River,
I'm still
you've
confused.
seen little children and old ladies being trampled.
Why was this a good idea? I don't understand why this was the outcome we wanted.
I think a little bit of heroism, maybe.
Somebody think of the children.
Joe? River's asking you out of confusion. Weevil? Either
I'm
one of
sorry.
you.
I couldn't tell that was River. I thought
That was River.
Now that they are appropriately afraid, they will run. They'll leave their homes. They won't stay in this cursed place anymore. And they will survive when Mordred comes and wipes this valley smooth. They will suffer right now, but they will live for years to come. They'll tell the story of how terrible it was, but they will tell the story alive.
Except for those couple right there.
I held back.
The old ones had a good run anyway.
And they'd only slow them down.
River?
They can make new children when they want.
How's the merchant respond to this?
He doesn't.
He's distracted by
Oh,
Moshe. He's looking up his back.
himself.
So he's like 600, 800 feet away in the back of his wagon.
Muffled rain.
Yeah,
pattering on the
talking to Moishe, bartering.
Doesn't hear the screams, okay.
Not yet. When he steps out of the wagon, he'd be able to hear it. But anyway, River, anything else you want to say?
I don't think this is quite. Maybe next time, don't panic everyone in a crowd to trample small children.
Weevil, you have anything to say? Because River seems quite upset.
It's almost perfect.
For someone who's very upset, she's not doing much.
Well, she can't do anything. Like,
Sure you can.
I have. No, I.
You
can always do something.
executed Farhad's plan perfectly.
Gonna just turn around and just.
Oh, now it's Farhad's plan.
This is your plan.
Yeah, now we're passing the potato. No, this is your plan.
I told you at the beginning it was your plan.
Okay. So, you guys are passing the hot potato. Moishe, you're seeing... Oh, that's not going quite right. You're seeing the trampling happening and the chaos in the village, and you're hearing the screams. The merchant's kind of perking up a little bit, like he almost can hear something.
Have you found a shirt and pants for me?
Oh, yes, sure. And he's handed you a few, and he says that'll be 10 gold for the full ensemble, because they're higher quality.
I need these and a pair of boots.
Oh, well, if you want some boots, that'll be 17
gold.
No,
I'm a tailor. I know the worth of these things.
Well, they're at least worth 8 gold, so just as far as what you know their worth is.
Dwarf-
Not counting the boots.
Which one? Well, the dwarven-sized boots cost 45 gold. Okay, high boots are 1 gold piece apiece.
Okay, that's just standard market, but
Right.
keep in mind the countryside and all that. But just I could certainly bring that down to 9 gold, but you know, it's keeping inventory and all of that.
9 is fair.
And there you go then. What's that sound? He starts to climb out of the wagon.
Say the villagers are panicking about the Mordredian army.
Oh, he peers around the wagon and now sees the chaos. He stiffens and looks very worried. Oh my goodness! What has happened? They seemed so calm a few minutes ago.
I think that the reality of the Mordredian army being on its way has finally set in.
I see. He seems a little skeptical, but he's very concerned. Oh my goodness, what's happening? So he's kind of watching what's happening, not really doing anything at the moment, just standing there in horror.
It's probably best that we all leave, but before you do, have you a pair of boots?
He looks at you, looks back at the arms.
Hey, business is important.
Right. He creeps back and you can see him really struggling with the ethics of that. But
if you've got a good pair of boots, I'll give you 5 gold.
All right. I think I have just what you need. And ruffles through for a few moments where he holds some out to you that look
This
totally
reminds me of
serviceable.
one time I went and visited my cousin who was in the Peace Corps in Senegal, Africa. And while we were visiting, they were having elections. And it was just disastrously bad. And there were riots going on. I definitely remember trying to do our last-minute shopping as the riots were going. It felt like the perfect end to a visit to a third world country.
Look, you have to give us a good deal because we could just be looting you. So take that into account.
Wow, okay. Torin, You're just hunkered down behind the building in terror.
Just it's like when the poor old man sitting there how the lake 2 springs back.
Okay, so you're just cowering in terror.
Yes.
All right, a few people are kind of slogging through the mud past you, trying to get away. A couple of them bloody, from falling and hitting the head and stuff like that. But people are starting to disperse east and west. A few have run into the temple, and now the leaders have kind of gone down into the crowd. Now are trying to calm the crowd down and are getting shoved over and such. They're people. It's a full panic. So
at least they're
definitely not an organized approach, but they are moving indeed.
So I got a pretty clear shot of getting to the woods from here, right?
You are right here.
Yeah, so I can go straight north and get into some woods.
Yes.
That's definitely a safer place to be.
So you're sprinting through the mud there?
Yeah.
All right. And there's more grass here, so when you're off the road, it's a little more, yeah. Okay, so you kind of slip and slide, but make your way that way.
Yes.
Okay. So you see the tumult going on. You see the leaders go down in it, trying to calm it down. They're slowly bringing some of the caste order. They're also helping up some of the people who've been crushed in the throng. And what are you guys doing, the three of you? Well, are you still running your marching thing, or you were creeping back?
Once I've gotten a full what I feel is a full reaction,
yes,
and I'm pretty sure from what I can hear that I pretty well got the
you got their attention,
reaction.
yeah.
And possibly a little bit more so than I anticipated.
Possibly.
Had they been watching as I slowly rolled in haze,
entirely their fault. Entirely their fault.
And then brought in the army.
Of course.
In steps.
Right.
It would have eased them into it better.
Yes. Right. Appropriate exposure therapy increments. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So
instead we had to do
you've noticed this happening. What do you do?
I shut the
turn off the marching army spell.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
But I make it kind of fade.
Okay.
I make it kind of go hazy and then before it disappears.
Okay.
And then I cast mask on myself to make myself look like a human child.
Okay.
And run out towards the square and try to help.
What's your dex?
My dex is 16.
Oh, you're quite nimble.
Yes.
It is only because you are so nimble you keep from being crushed by the people running around you. Mm-hmm. And you managed to help a couple other. Well, you see a little child knocked down in front of you that you were able to dodge, and the little child was not able to.
I specifically go after the children.
Okay.
And try to
so you try to help that child up,
assuming that my party, that my fellow party mates will be running into the fray as well.
Okay.
To rescue anybody larger than I can carry.
Yeah, that seems a reasonably heroic assumption. Yep. So you're picking up one of the kids who fell down in the mud, was getting trampled, helping them up so they don't get trampled more.
Yeah. And I'll just keep doing that until it looks like the crowd's all going in one direction. And
it's not. It's scattered between. They've been running into the temple or scattering to the west and the east.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna continue doing
chaos.
that until basically.
But you're trying to help pull the kids and little old ladies out of the mud.
Basically, generally till it's loose enough of a crowd.
That will take a little bit because there were over 100 people packed in pretty closely.
Mm-hmm.
Torin, you're running towards the woods.
Tell me how safe I am in the woods.
Yeah, you'll get there, and it's going to take a few rounds to get through the mud.
I'll tell you, those illusions will not hurt you at all.
Well, you can't tell them that right now.
No, I know. I'm just saying, you're safe.
No.
All right, River, Farhad, and Weevil.
Well, I want to.
You can't see him in the crowd
about how effective our plan was.
Okay, so you're going to stand back and go, so you go to analysis.
This way. And, it's alarming that people are running off to the east. We need to scare them the other way.
Some are running this way. Some are running to the buildings. It looks like a couple are running to the
south.
You see the innkeeper running to his tavern, things like that.
And I consult with Farhad as to whether we need a giant Odin to go and try and scare them off to the west.
Farhad.
No, we know not where they need to go and where their things are and where their homes are. Let them choose where they run, as long as they run from Mordred's forces.
Excellent.
River, you seem to be still upset.
Yes.
What do you suggest we do? Perhaps not doing it again is a good idea, but that won't solve the problem.
Well, I can't. Just no more illusions, please.
Yes,
First,
that
we
will make
can't
me
take our
completely
clothes off.
useless.
Right now.
We have 2 illusionists. Next, you say no sneaking. I believe you just don't want us to do any of the things we're good at.
So River's standing there trying to speak, just completely confounded from your statements. You did not see that coming.
Please, I don't like watching people panic and trampling other people. It's not
I
fun
hate watching it as well. It's a
being in those
terrible
crowds.
tragedy.
So let's not try
Better than dying.
to induce that much panic. Like,
So midway through this conversation, you guys see your other gnome friend talk in the middle of the crowd, picking up some of the little children and old ladies that have been trampled,
Well,
helping
they
them
see
to their
someone
feet.
in my clothes.
But yes, yes, but you guys also they know the illusion's not going to work for them because they've seen it repeatedly, and so they know it's you.
Okay.
Yeah, even though the others around you do not.
Well, then again, they're from a distance, so even if they could see,
They recognize your
just
body language, all of that.
They
but
just see someone in my clothes and body type.
yes, helping pull the people out of the mud who are being trampled and helping them up. So that you do notice that
What a great hero Talk is. I approve.
Hey, River, you're human enough for these ones. Why don't you try to help him?
Fine. River is going to activate her ring.
Okay.
And try to
work your way unobtrusively up to the
yeah,
group,
she's gonna like run and then stop a little,
okay, so
and then run
to there, then run to
again.
there, then come out. Okay, and then what are you gonna do when you get there?
3-second dash.
She's going to. She's going to try to move slowly so she doesn't get as noticed and people are panicking. So she's hoping that no one's really looking at her.
Okay, and what's your goal?
She's just going to try to help people.
Okay.
And.
All right, so you go to do that. By the time you get there, it's starting to thin out a little bit. But there are no people who aren't moving, who are face down in the mud, not moving. So there, and there is a little old lady not far from you when you come out into the crowd. That's your nearest person if you want to check out her situation.
Yeah.
Okay. So you come up to her. She's face down in the mud. She's been trampled several times.
But she's wearing a MAGA hat.
What do you do?
I pull her face out and
you pull her up and she groans in pain.
Mm-hmm.
She's covered in mud, but she's still alive. But she's been trampled.
That's good.
Yep. So she is breathing and alive.
I have no healing abilities at all.
Okay.
None of us do.
Oh no.
No, I've got
Roisha's number one. I'm going to just try to put her in a comfortable position.
Okay. She leans on you and you can walk her over. There's some benches in front of the temple you could set her on.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to try to help whoever is face down.
Okay. Yeah. There's about a dozen people throughout the circle between children and elderly, and one or two just not very physically adept, trampled in the mud. None of them are dead.
That is very good for everybody else.
So, and meanwhile, everybody else has been scattering. So by the time you help the others up, there's yourself. You see Talk, and the leaders all went into the temple arguing, and the temple the squares, circle of Center Town is now pretty much empty, except for these people and the two of you. Everybody else is scattered. It's weird, kind of quiet after all of that noise. Torin, you made it to the trees.
I hide.
Okay, go ahead if you want to roll. You don't have to, but you feel,
I'm hiding
just
good.
to feel better.
65.
Yeah. Okay. You think you're doing great. Okay. Now what? Now you're in the trees and you're well hidden.
I catch my
Yeah,
breath.
well hidden.
Okay.
All right.
And you're back here, so you can't really see, other than seeing people streaming away through the mud and going to their buildings and such. You can't see a whole lot of what's going on.
All right, then. Well, I'm going to make my way through the forest this year. I can't go west. I can't really go north because of the building. So I'll head east, deeper into the woods.
As you're creeping along, you see River go, trying to be unobtrusive, and you almost didn't catch her.
Would I see her?
You did around the time she was heading that way.
Okay.
Like, because you got here when she finally decided to do that, but you only caught a glimpse of her, and then you lost track of her for some reason. But you saw her going towards the square, and then you got deeper into the woods.
Okay, then. I'm just going to put as much distance between me and the city center.
Okay,
into
city?
the woods. Yeah, it's a city. What are you talking about?
Yeah, from where you come from, yeah. All right, you're just going deep into the woods.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
All
where it's
right.
safe.
And we never saw him again.
Only
Okay.
problem. Yes. This
Let's see. Okay,
Sasquatch
wow.
is real.
I was hoping to try to get this wrapped up, but we're just about out of time. Talk.
Well,
You and River have gotten all the people out of the mud, and they're all sitting on little benches recovering.
I know Mask does not last very long,
No.
so
After you retrieve them.
now that I've helped everybody and the crowd's pretty well dispersed,
Yeah, other than
I'm
these
going
12.
to run back to our meeting place where we were before,
Up here?
and try and disappear around the corner.
Okay.
Before anyone really has a chance to look at me.
Okay, Moisha. So you saw the crowds milling all about, starting to scatter, although none of them coming south.
Do you have high boots or dwarf?
The merchant is looking very distressed. He has... I have both, but please, could you make a decision? I'm quite
I'll
concerned
take the
about what's
dwarven boots. You can have 50 gold.
Thank you. Thank you. He looks... Oh, funny.
Aren't they 45?
Oh, I see. Oh, because they're actually... You can use them in combat. Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. Yes, that'll do. That'll do. He's quickly gives them to you, takes your money, is battening things down, keeps looking at the village, and gets up in the wagon and starts riding towards the village urgently, very concerned. What do? You now have a whole other set of clothes, some new boots, and some leather armor, and a new helmet. So you got all the shopping stuff.
What does your helmet look like?
It's a metal skull cap with leather straps.
Yeah.
Boring.
But effective.
You need to write those stats down.
We got to wrap up here, so...
So I put on my armor and head back to the meeting place.
Okay, so work your way sideways,
Yeah.
back up and around.
Yeah,
okay?
I don't want to be seen.
Okay. All right. And Torin, you're just getting lost in the woods.
I'm deep into the woods and I hunker down because all I gotta know. The only last thing I know is we're gonna meet back at that spot at
back
dusk.
in here. Okay.
Yeah.
River, you saw Talk once he helped everybody get up with you. Quickly dart back around the corner and probably head back to the woods. What do you do?
I'm gonna head back to.
Okay, follow after. So you get back. Meanwhile, Farhad and Weevil, you saw them doing this.
So
what
and we saw Torin, so I'm going to point out Torin.
You did not. You two did not see Torin.
You did not.
No, he was in the woods over here. When he was here, he saw briefly River running this way. When she was going
we
that
didn't
way.
see him running past the temple.
You guys are
into the
here.
woods?
No, right over here. Not from your vantage. When he went that
Well, even
way.
if you wouldn't be looking that direction.
Yeah, you were busy looking this way. You did not see him go that way because he was
pretty
going.
sneaky.
Mission complete.
Farhan, any last words? Because we got to wrap it up tonight. We got hung up on. We lost about almost half an hour of game time because of the technical issues.
I got nothing. I'm not doing nothing.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we'll leave it there. That most of you clustered back here in the woods. Torin's lost in the woods. And Moishe finally got his armor and clothing that he wanted after having to burn them.
Fine. Motivated job there.
And we'll be back next Sunday, 6 to 9 p.m. Again, if the stream acts up, we do record this locally and we upload the higher quality unencumbered version to patreon.com/RPG Research. For all of our Patreon supporters, they get to see that right away. And then a few weeks later, it's available to the general public. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed. Please do consider donating and supporting RPG Research, the 501c3 nonprofit, studying the effects of all role-playing game formats and their potential to help improve people's quality of life. Until then, have a wonderful week, and we'll catch you next week on twitch.tv/RPG Research. Wherever you may be well, Namarie, and happy gaming.
Dream well.
It was disgusting. It was terrible.
Good evening.
Never underestimate the importance of good armor.
The show must go on.
What could possibly go wrong?
Joe.
If you'd like to find out what can go wrong, invite me.
Hey, now we know.
Dan.
I think that's sufficient.
Dan has lost it. Riley.
Fine.
Pyro.
Have a good night.
All right. Good
Always
night.
blame Comcast.
All right.
Thank you.